Everyone, welcome back to another video. Today, I want to talk about why Yi Sun Shin is more popular than Charles in Conquest season. Although both of them is very good and very useful from early game to Conquest season, but why is he more popular? And in this video, I will talk about that and explain, in my view, why Yi Sun Shin is more popular than Charles. So this is the reason why I want to know why Yi Sun Shin is more popular than Charles. I was looking at the strongest true power in the KVK ranking, and I was looking through the people's matches, and you can see Yi Sun Shin is out there basically on every single one's mod. I think in the top 10 in the rankings currently, 8 of them is using Yi Sun Shin. And why do people prefer Yi Sun Shin more than Charles? And here is one of the reasons. So the first reason why I think Yi Sun Shin is more popular is because it's way easier to obtain his fragments. It costs less and it doesn't use gems. Currently, you can only get Charles via market with gems if you are free-to-play player. If you are spending a little bit, you can get Charles in Elemental Bond, which is really good event as well, but people just want to go free-to-play route, which is understandable, and Yi Sun Shin is way easier to obtain. Although artifacts wise, artifact for Charles is free-to-play and grindable, Yi Sun Shin is behind paywall, but then again, you don't really need Yi Sun Shin artifact to make him really good, but if you can get him, it's gonna make him OP, right? So he currently, Yi Sun Shin, is one of the most popular immortal in the game right now. Me, myself, do have him in my main match as well, but that is way before, the reason why I switched out Charles for Yi Sun Shin was because I really want a cavalry defense immortal that actually can do really well. I know Charles is really strong, and Charles is really strong in season 1 all the way up to Conquest, and is probably one of the strongest immortal in the game. And if Charles were easier to obtain the fragments and cheaper, I think people would probably still using Charles over Yi Sun Shin nowadays. But now with all the competition and all the metas coming around, I think it just fit Yi Sun Shin more than Charles in general as well. So, but nowadays the meta is going to shift back to sustainable. I think Charles will be back into the meta, or we will be seeing him more into the meta, because the shielding he gives with some of the skills that is available in the Wisdom Well right now, I think he is going to be back and perform really, really well. The second reason why I think Yi Sun Shin is more popular than Charles is because of his ultimate. His ultimate is very, very nice. Even without his artifact, it reduces damage taken by 30%, but if you can get his artifact even without upgradable artifact, the passive itself is really, really strong, because it increased healing received by 30%, and that is really, really good in today's meta, especially if you have Fu Fei, Theodora, you have Ninetales, and you have Zenobia backline, somebody who can heal, and you have the skill Funnel of Life, the new Chaos skills. That is going to be a very, very good for Yi Sun Shin, and that's why he's more popular than Charles. As for Charles, he fits better in a system where you don't have any healers backline, or you do have one but you don't need one. He's more of like shielding guy. The only one that can actually counter Charles directly is Poseidon, and Poseidon is not in the meta right now, but he's still going to be very strong against Charles. And Charles, in my opinion, is way better in the early game to mid game until you reach Conquest. He's still gonna be very, very strong in PvE aspect of the game. In PvP, he can be strong, but it's not like he's gonna be better than Yi Sun Shin. So the third reason why I think Yi Sun Shin is more popular than Charles is because Yi Sun Shin is more flexible into matches. He is cavalry. I think that's one of the main point for me that I choose Yi Sun Shin over Charles. Him being cavalry makes him very flexible to pair up with for example, like Bjorn, Trajan, Ragnar, and other tanks, because most of the tanks in the game are shieldmen, and I personally want the difference, like the diversity in troops. I want cavalry, I want shieldmen, I don't want two of the same things, right? Because that would just take a lot of space in the training ground, and you have to focus on that main troops only. And if you, for example, lose a fight, you're losing a big chunk of shieldmen, for example, if you don't have that, or big chunk of cavalry if you do have that. So that is what my thought process when I think about, try to format marches, try to be a little bit different when it comes to the troops here. But I've seen, for example, two shieldmen formations doing very, very well as well. You can probably put Charles here instead of Yi Sun Shin as well, although I don't really recommend it. But in my opinion, Charles works better when you have an attacker front line and attacker back line, like a standard formation match without healers. I think he performed better there, but he's performing very well here as well if you put Yi Sun Shin next to Charles right here. If Charles were to replace Bjorn today, I think I will perform very well as well. So that is something you have to think about. But for me, I think Yi Sun Shin is just way better in Conquest right now. So now that we are at the end of this video, what do you guys think about my reasons for Yi Sun Shin being more popular than Charles? Do you agree or disagree? Leave it a comment down below. And of course, both of them are really, really strong. Don't think that one is better than another, because they are very good in their own way. So if you were to use Charles, having Yi Sun Shin on the second team, or if you want to have the opposite, you can go for that. They are very strong in their own. It's just that you can see from my video that Yi Sun Shin is just more popular. Doesn't mean it's always better. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks you guys for watching. See you guys in the next video.